Well, we knew this was coming. Right, okay, it's that time of year again. Yep, January. Fun. And what do I do every January from the past year? No, past 2 years is a tradition now. Yep, review of the last season of the Lynxy series. So, hello everyone, my name is Adam, and welcome to a new video on my channel. I'm Adam, obviously, and I am going to be reviewing Series 8 of Lucas Green's YouTube series called the Lynxy series. It goes without saying, this video is going to contain some major spoilers, so don't watch it if you haven't watched it.
Spoilers?
Don't watch this if you haven't watched it. To sum up the whole season, in my opinion, Series 7 is better than Series 8, and but throughout Series 8 we have some interesting things. A rivalry between Viper and Ibs's new henchman Korag. We have a relationship develop between Apex and Eladai, a new character that gets introduced this season. And of course the triumphant return of Delilah.
Oh, hey there, viewers of YouTube.
Yep. So, with that being said, let's get into this. I have rewatched every episode to give my proper review on this. And I got one piece of paper, some double-sided, for each part that happens in each video episode. And I learnt my lesson from last year. I have some drinks. I could keep myself hydrated instead of either having to wait till the recording is over or do what I did last year and probably just disappear just to get a drink. So with that being said, let's get into this. Season 1... No, I'm not doing Season 1 again. Nah. Season 8, Episode 1. So, it opens up to Viper greeting Delilah and explaining that Delilah should work for her, as Viper brought her back. But Delilah doesn't work for her. She doesn't work for anyone because she's a diva. And she gets away. Meanwhile, we learn that Sinister Strange is British? Oh, I never could have guessed. Sinister Strange explains that Nanny Plum has got another job. Okay. But due to dumb luck, he gets a taxi with Nanny Plum as the driver. God have mercy on him. On Tangaroa, Lynxy plans to help Kate before looking for Talis. So she has prioritised her best friend over her own daughter. What a bad mother. Meanwhile, at the Tabby Cat Inn, Delilah has a musical number and kills someone. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of Delilah killing someone. And I think episode 1... Hold on, we'll finish this and I'll explain why I like Delilah in this episode. Viper and Impus releases Korag, a monster to Devimon. So that is Demon's father. Delilah spies a diamond in Atro City and dances her way to stealing it. And if this is not done to the song Bad, I would be very furious. I can't remember what song it was done to, but if it's not bad, I'll be furious. 1 month later, Rick introduces Miss Dye to the city as a new representative. Yeah, I'm gonna assume the word is representative. Lynxy gets ambushed by Impus's new monster, Korag. And that's how it ends. It ends with Lynxy getting ambushed. So what I'm going to say about this episode at the moment, this, in my opinion, is the best of Delilah. Because while some people like Delilah in this season, I'm personally not a big fan of her because apart from episode 1, because in episode 1 she has her musical numbers that she was known for in season 2, and after this episode it just kind of disappears, and then it's just her smoking, swearing, and quite frankly not being a good inspiration for the kiddies. I simply prefer a villain that has a musical number. So hence Frollo and Scar are some of my favourite Disney villains. But Delilah, if she can bring back the musical numbers, then I'll be happy. Episode 2 opens with Korag fighting Lynxy. I told you it did like that. He summoned a horse and merged to become a centaur. By the way, the horse is called Catastros. Lynxy loses the fight. She lost. Oh. Showing the true power of Korag. She went to flee, but Rick shot her down.
He's getting away. Get him, Ash. Yeah!
Yeah. Oh, okay. After recovering from her wounds, she wakes up to see Delilah. Delilah reveals her plan to Lynxy by bringing back the Lynxian race, and we'll learn that Delilah has nothing against Lynxy. Doesn't want to kill her, just wants a team with her. We get introduced to Ellie of the Kitty Squad, and Millie and Harley at the Darks. To add to these Kitty Squad members, the only important one is Harley.
Harley Quinn here. How do you like my new uniform?
And that's just barely important. She is like a side character, but a very side character. The others, we're lucky if we see again. At the Dark Spire, Korag returns, showing he won, and he gets in a fight with Vipera, because she hasn't. The ECA ventures into Delilah's forest, that's brave, to rescue Lynxy, but to no success, because it's the Dark Forest. Sinister goes flying in the hot air balloon with Nanny Plum. Why does he keep going on these rides with Nanny Plum? They crash, no surprise, and then cuts to the Dark Spire. Vipera is trying to persuade Impus that Korag is against them. And a new Kitty Squad member, Kaylee, is spying on them. Apex is spying on Apex, and they fight. Apex has been forced to retreat because he can't beat a simple kitty cat. I'm gonna read exactly what this says. This is a little joke for me. Apex is having his injuries treated by Dr. Comediac. Just had a little bit of insult to injury to Apex here. Apex fires back by taunting Comediac's new job as a doctor. That could also be used as foreshadowing. Korag and Lynxy engage in another fight while Sinister watches, eating popcorn for all we know. Impus is over the moon. Impus is over the moon and is prioritizing him over Vipera. Korag over Vipera because Korag kills. Because Korag is beating Lynxy. Before Korag can kill Lynxy, Delilah swoops in and fights him off. Korag vows revenge. Delilah stumbles upon Talus. Oops. Okay, just around 10 minutes in and we're on episode 3. Great progress. Episode 3 opens with Impus ordering Jinxter to make a new monster. In Delilah's forest, Talus wakes up to Delilah telling her that she is her mother. After a blood test, Talus accepts Delilah is her mother. Meanwhile, Storm is trying to fight back Lightning, but Storm is losing control. Meanwhile, Sinister Strange is being visited by Apex because he wants to side with him. I love that scene, by the way. Lynxy is tracking down Impus to find Vipera. Meanwhile, Hazard is flirting with Miss Stark. There's so much going on in this episode. But it's turned down, and after 5 seasons without him, Hazard introduces a statue of Ace in honor of his courage and sacrifice to the city that he did not know about because it wasn't built when he died. Yay. And Miss Di now wants dinner. I don't even know why I write down some of these most of the time. Korag sends the new monster to a volcano to erupt it, but is stopped by Lynxy. Apex tells Dr. X that he couldn't find Comediac, and he turns a test subject into a monster. We get introduced to Ashley and Riley to the Kitty Squad. That's a new line. Fighting off the ECA. Lightning arrives at Atro City and a power cut ensues. And after a monologue from Lightning, we are greeted by a to be continued card. Right, so I can straight away tell from this episode 3, just reading it. Obviously it's been a while since I actually reread this. Episode 4 opens with Red Lightning taking over Atro City with Delilah hunting him down, and Harley is hunting Ella. Lynxy goes to stop Red Lightning, but Viper stops her. Sinister Strange and Apex watch Atro City and the power cut, not knowing about Red Lightning. Delilah finds Red Lightning and they fight. Sinister Strange and Apex sneak into the city, but separated. Harley finds Ella and goes to take her, but gets stopped by Apex. Impus sets a task for Viper to set chaos. What? Lynxy tries to stop Viper, but to no avail. Delilah challenges Red Lightning to a one-on-one duel, but she loses the fair way. But wins the villain way. So she loses when it's a fair one-on-one, but she wins when she cheats. Red Lightning turns back to Storm. Hazard finds out Storm is Red Lightning, and Storm offers to turn himself in to the box. Viper is called back, and Korag goes out to attack Lynxy, but gets stopped by her. Oh yeah. Dr. X releases a blob monster to stop Lynxy. Meanwhile, Apex and Ella are having a moment. Ooh. And we find out Ella knew Faith Du, Dark Lord's daughter. Impus is unimpressed with Viper and Korag for what they do. Harley loses the TV remote and can't find it. Delilah returns, plotting to kidnap Ella. Yeah, okay, so some of the stuff I added here, I hear just because they amuse me or because they're relevant to the story. This is going to be a long review, and the Q&A is going to be longer. Okay, episode 5. Talis wants vengeance, but Delilah won't let her. And we get introduced to Charlie, who seems to be a handful and very fast. And Molly, who is honestly kind of boring. Kimberly is also introduced, who is all Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear. Quote unquote, that is. That's a stereotype, I guess. Going to the Dark Spire, Korag is trying to see a vision of the future against Lynxy. Viper lends Korag Lynxy's sword. Sinister Strange is telling Apex to kill Miss Di if nothing happens or there's no link to Delilah. However, Apex isn't really keen on it. I wonder what's happened. Miss Di is interviewing Storm and we find out how Storm is formed with Red Lightning. I'm not going to explain that because it's basically a hero sacrifice. It's like Jakara. And if you read Jakara, then you know what it's like. Meanwhile, on Tangaroa, Lynxy is having thoughts in her head about she's not wanted or trusted. She's not. I mean, no one on Atro City even trusts her or likes her. So, Impus is ordering Korag to catch Lynxy. Okay. Apex and Ella are meeting up, and Ella explains her job, but Apex doesn't feel comfortable anymore. I wonder why. Meanwhile, Korag and Lynxy fight with Talis, and Delilah watching Lynxy After a brief scuffle, Korag takes Lynxy's energy and reverts her to her true form, no longer able to be the strongest form. Impus goes to take over, but gets stopped, and he and Korag leave. Impus isn't happy that Viper wasn't there to help them in the fight. Okay. Next episode, episode 6. New Kitty Squad members, Haley, Marley, and Sally. No, Haley, Marley, and Sally. I don't know if they are new anymore or not. But I will say, though, it's double-sided. Yay. Episode 6 opens with Talis and Harley disagreeing whilst Talis restrains herself from injuring Harley. Delilah comes in explaining her plan. Sinister Strange explains his plan of taking Korag's magical powers to be the best wizard in the world. Delilah visits Sinister Strange and stuns Sinister Strange and is after some of his books. Delilah wreaks havoc on Atro City. The ECA try to stop one of Impus's monsters, but fails so badly, and it gets stopped by Delilah instead. Delilah talks to a businessman about cases. That was a bit of a random thing that we never saw go anywhere, but that leads to nothing much. Like I said, Impus is trying to get Lynxy's power energy from Korag, but he refuses to give it to Impus. Apex is trying to find evidence about Ella to save her from death. Meanwhile, Ella is trying to interview Lightning, but Lightning tests Ella's patience by calling Apex a bad guy. But, as a very wise video game character once said,
"If you are a bad guy, but this does not mean you're a bad guy."
Thank you, Zangief. Lynxy is fighting Korag. After a brief scuffle, Viper shoots a poisonous dart into Korag, and Korag got away. Hazard gives Ella some time off to spend with his fella. What? With her fella. Impus fights Korag to vent his anger. Apex meets up with Ella, and Ella tells Apex about his murders, but says that Ella doesn't see a killer in Apex anymore. Lynxy saves Korag's horse and uses it against Korag and kills a space monster. Korag claims Catastros back and leaves Lynxy. Okay, we're gonna learn until episode 9 or 10. I keep calling Catastros the horse because I did not know its name till the very last episode. Okay, episode 7. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. I'm looking to make this video kind of short because I know the Q&A is going to be long. So, either way, I'm going to be sat here for a while. Episode 7 starts at the Dark Spire, and Vipera is trying to show to Impus she's better than Korag, with mind control at her side, and the stony gaze as well. Impus allows it, but forces Vipera to go with Korag to stop it, Lynxy, but Korag has to assist. As at Delilah's forest, Delilah and Talis host a singing competition with Simon Cowell. And all to say about it is, it's roughly 5 minutes of my life I'll never get back. It's, no offense, Lucas, and I really do mean this from the bottom of my heart, I hated that scene. And it was a 5 minutes I'm never going to get back. But it gave me more reason to not watch X Factor until the live shows, because no one's good. At least it gave me that. Sinister attacks Lynxy, but realizes he shouldn't have attacked her until she got the artifacts. Oh yeah, they're after an artifact now. Apex tries to make Ella not go back to interviewing Red Lightning, but she insists. Apex tries to find things to save Ella die, but that leads him to the abandoned hospital. More on that later. Talis fights Korag, but gets trapped by Vipera and hypnotized. Ella is trying to get into Red Lightning, but only leads to possible fate. Okay. Okay. I forgot I wrote this down. But Lucas, pay attention here. But leads to what could possibly be foreshadowing. I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! And he proceeds to talk about hell and no heaven. I believe this is also the same conversation where Ella is talking about how there's a mask and there's two sides to everybody. So, yeah, I noticed that. I just didn't put it together until after episode 9. Talis admits Lynxy is her mother due to hypnosis and fights Korag to defend Lynxy, but Lynxy jumps in the way to save Talis. Delilah sends Harley to find Talis. Apex finds the hospital and goes to look for the security files, and Sinister Strange's patience is getting thin. Talis wakes up and seems confused about what happened. Lynxy has been captured, Harley is looking for Talis, and Delilah is scheming something fierce. Okay, last 3 episodes, and I'm just going to say these 3 episodes, I remember the most about because they're the most recent. So, that kind of helps, I guess. Episode 8. Viper tells Impus Talis is under her control. Impus is pleased, but Korag isn't. Lynxy and Lynn, oh yeah, Lynn's a character now, are trying to figure out how to help Talis. Delilah is annoyed with Viper being the reason why Lynxy won't join her. Sinister Strange meets Arakan, new character, sounds like a great guy. Basically he's a bounty hunter, and requests to join forces, but Arakan refuses because he's an honourable bounty hunter. We'll see how long that lasts. Apex is trying to find hospital files on Dr. Carl-Du. Refuses. Apex is trying to find hospital files on Dr. Carl-Du / Dark Lord and Faith Du, Dr. Carl-Du's daughter. Lynxy finds Korag and engages in another fight. How many fights do Lynxy and Korag have? With him, but Korag makes quick work of her because Lynxy does not have her full strength. But Harley comes in and helps Lynxy because Harley is a good Kiddie Squad member, even though she's technically classed as a villain henchman. Oh, henchmaness. Korag tells them to save Talis and earn the right to fight him. And they will earn the right to fight him. They need to defeat Viper in order to save Talis and also earn the right to fight Korag again. Lynxy refuses to defeat or destroy Viper due to her believing Kate is still in Viper. Anyone who's watching this but not watching the series or my previous reviews are going to end up very confused. Delilah finds Ella die and engage in conversation. Okay, so someone fights Viper. I'm guessing Lynxy, but I don't believe it will be. They engage in a fight, and the reason why it's not Talis is because Viper uses Talis as a meat shield. Okay, this is crazy. Lynxy keeps trying to convince Talis out of her trance, and it seems to have worked, but Talis refuses to accept Lynxy as her mother, so she and Harley leave, and Korag and Lynxy engage in another fight. And Korag was forced to retreat. Oh wow, Lynxy won. Apex finds Ella and Delilah leaves as Ella is bleeding, and Apex realizes that Delilah infected Ella with her blood. Oh, she did more than that, mate. And that was also another foreshadowing hint that I probably should have caught. I caught it at the end, don't worry. Episode 9 starts with Delilah explaining her talent, why the talent contest hasn't come back. Not very well liked, I would say. Certainly it's a mystery. The conversation goes to Delilah explaining why she wants Ella. At the Dark Spire, though, Impus is complaining, because he always does, why he can't go to his final form. Okay. Can we just cut to the scene here? What Impus does? Why he wants his final form? And then just show what happens afterwards? And then we'll come back to me. Because I just find it funny. Because I can't explain it. I think it needs to just be shown. So we'll do it now.
I can't take it anymore. I want my evolution. I want it now. Now, 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 now.
Impus, do me a favour. Look, you're one of my favourite characters. Yeah, okay. But please, shut up. Ah, how I love past me. That is the most ego inflated I can get for myself. Viper explains that they need to find the gatekeeper to get Impus's final form. Apex is trying to persuade Ella to go to the hospital, but she refuses, claiming she's fine. Sure. Lynxy runs into Arakan, the bounty hunter. By the way, every time I mention Arakan, I need to say the bounty hunter. After a brief scuffle, Lynxy fights Arakan, the bounty hunter, off and escapes. Arakan, the bounty hunter, escapes. Red Lightning is singing about a storm that's approaching. Now I know what it's referencing to, but when I see what I wrote down here saying a storm that's approaching, I think of Doctor Who with season 9, episode 11. At the end, the Doctor just says, "There's a storm coming."
The oncoming storm.
The rich human, that's who I'm going to call it, the person that Delilah was talking to in a few episodes ago, is trying to form an alliance with Delilah, but she refuses, claiming that humans are nothing but filth. Delilah also learns her powers are restricted and escapes to her lair. Ella is trying to help Delilah, but Delilah isn't taking her seriously. Apex tries to confront Ella about changing someone's chosen path. It's just changing someone's chosen path isn't always going to work. And Ella proceeds to show Apex a slideshow of things he missed whilst being a villain. Or pretty much having his childhood taken from him, as we learn in season 6. Nope, season 7. I liked it. I honestly liked it, I really did. The slideshow was basically a bunch of random stuff, and it was recreated to be like Strangers Like Me from Tarzan. And I honestly love the song, first of all, and I also like the respect, I guess, Lucas put into it, where he is just to pay homage to it, I guess. So yeah, it's still a great scene. I honestly really do like it. No need to. Yep. Okay. Korag bestows dark magic. Korag bestows dark magic upon Viper. Lynxy is trying to tell Talus they are mother and daughter, but this time it seems to work. But Korag has captured Lynxy. Okay, now Lynxy is captured. Viper gets ambushed by Talus in human form. Oh, Talus is in human form now. Okay. But just before they fight, Viper loses her dark magic. Oof. And Talus fights Korag in a rather long and drawn out fight, which is exciting, as Korag is actually being challenged. But Korag takes Talus's human form, and Viper hypnotizes Talus. And that's the end of my piece of paper, so I kind of had to stop writing there. Ends on cliffhanger. Dun dun dun. Episode 10. Why does this paper feel so much different to the others? Well, if it helps, I do know which notebook I wrote it in. I wrote it in this one. I am covering a word though, because well, I know some people don't care about swearing on their channels, but I care about swearing on my channel. So I try to watch myself every time I get. So that's why I'm covering a word here. But that is the notebook that I'm going to be writing down Lynx series notes from now on, or whatever the other word is. Let's just say if you know, you know. It starts with Impus terrorizing episode 10 starts with Impus terrorizing Atro City with a whole army of footling. Korag has apprehended Talis and teleports away. Viper has learnt about an item that has been stolen from Demon Knight's vault. What was the item though? Viper releases Roscoe's wife, Amara is it? To track the relic that has been stolen down to find it. And Korag is torturing Talis. Korag and Delilah engage in a fight with a loss of grunting. Yeah, trust me. It has a loss of grunting. I mean, if I was playing the video but not watching, I'd think I'm listening to a cutscene from Legend of Zelda. And Delilah tops Korag. Yay. Apex learns Dr. Cardu is Dark Lord. Come on, Apex! Keep up! We knew this already. He revives Dark Lord temporarily, but before he could explain what's going on or what Dark Lord knows, he gets reverted back to a statue. Oh no. Talis stops Impus but loses a life in the process, and Impus runs to his mother. So Impus gets stopped, but Talis loses one of her lives again, so now she has 7 or 6. 6 or 7 lives now. I don't know, she's died a few times. Ella is confronted with Delilah and is about to kill her when Apex jumps in and deems no more people will die and everybody lives. Yeah, I wish so as well, mate. And then Ella dies almost immediately after that. But the big twist. Cue the drums. And cue the cutscene, because I think it's best that the cutscene explains what's going on.
Take patient interview number 2. Patient's name is Red Lightning, the darker half of Storm. In my last interview, Storm refused to bring him out, but now ECA has managed safe restrictions to bring out Lightning. So Lightning, you said humans have made electricity its slave. Can't you see we were unaware the electricity was sentient?
That's because you're stupid. It shows why you need to be put down. Luckily, I'm not the only one who thinks that. There are many other villains who think humans can go join Demonite, Monkey King, Impus, Lynxy, Apex.
Let me keep tabs on her. If nothing shows up, I'll...
You'll kill her!
What?
Do you mind telling me why you brought a mask to show me, Doc?
It's to show you there are 2 sides to everyone. When the user puts it on, they become a different person. And the same goes when it's removed. They say at times the user actually takes on the identity of the mask.
Ella, you're bleeding. Hold on, my scanner registers that blood as Delilah's.
If this Miss Di has not one useful connection to Delilah, she's of no concern to me.
I can't do that while talking. The big twist is that Ella never existed. Ella was Delilah! Because her name spelt a different way means Delilah. Yeah, what a really funny plot convenience I was used in Season 4. Now it's Season 8. Yes, that has to be used. The relic that was stolen was the glasses that Ella had. It all makes sense now. I realised it right before episode 10 I watched it. Right before I watched it, yes. And Delilah, well, that's only Comediac helping her. That's only Comediac who's helping her. During the time this happens, Talis learns that Delilah is not her mother, and in anger, takes one of Delilah's lives. And that is the end of season 8. Delilah is on top of the world by not only breaking Apex's heart, but also forming an alliance with Comediac and guessing what she needs: the transformation glasses. And at the end of that episode, we get a little trailer to the next season, which seems to form a sort of team up. So that will be interesting. But with that being said, that is season 8. To sum it up, I do prefer season 7 more, as I personally think I personally found the story more captivating, and I think a problem which I had with this season is actually Delilah, because I cut out a lot of parts with Delilah in it, just doing some random thing which deems her as badass. But I don't see it as being quote unquote badass. I just see it as just something to pass the time. That really was, to some people, it could be seen as well, an awesome moment from Delilah. To me, it's just a bit of filler. So Delilah in episode 1 and season 2, with the musical numbers, what she is known for, I would love to see more of. Was Delilah at the end of season 8 was pretty evil, and had a good plan. I think it's the filler that's in between that kind of threw me off it. Like, this Delilah isn't the Delilah that I know, and I can never get really attached to her. I will say, the voice actress did a very good job with Delilah, so not dissing you there, but unfortunately, it's not my Delilah. I'm sorry. This same voice actress also voiced Ella, so thanks for breaking my heart. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. Okay, well, Apex's heart anyway. Okay, so with that being said, that is my opinion on season 8. We'll see where that ranks for the other seasons in the, when season 10 is done, then I'll do a complete season ranking. But with that being said, that's done. Join me in the next video, or videos, where we'll be doing the season 8 Q&A. God have mercy, we're going to be here for a while. Till then, peace out.